I wanted to do an update on the reloading component crisis that is kind of, well, it's always kind of been there, and we all know about price increases and the fact that it's getting extremely expensive to be able to reload to the point where, like 9 millimeter and 5.56, it's cheaper to buy it than to reload it. But reloading, uh, for us that reload odd calibers like the old military rounds, or somebody like that's in the bench rest shooting. I was talking to a bench rest shooter about it at my range, and that's a whole different situation with those people are into. And it has gotten more expensive, okay? But what I found is now just getting some of the components is almost impossible. They're either not in stock, or also several people have mentioned on my chats, and I've heard several people voice their concerns or ask me, what do I know about the fact that they're going to either limit or stop the production of powder for, say, the commercial reloading market, which would be us, the consumer, just sporting goods store people. And I'm going to make a separate video on that because I'll go into detail. I find some information online. Some of it's kind of vague, but it's so it's to where I had to make a separate video. And it's not every company selling, because I guess there's only two. There's Hodgdon and then Alliant. They're both part of conglomerates that sell powder, to the reloader, commercial retail, let's call it, And Alliant, I guess, is the one that came out and said they were just going to stop all production of that area, the commercial retail, because because of shortages, they're going to generate all their efforts to the more industrial, military or whatever, produce the powder to be supplied to other areas, industrial reloading and the military thing. And this is the crux of the matter with that is because, and this is stupid, our government put these sanctions out. It's the shortage of nitrocellulose. Yes, the wars are consuming a lot of the material to make this. But on the other hand, when we put sanctions on these countries like Russia and China, China supplies something like 85% of the nitrocellulose to us, and we're in the middle of a trade war with them, cutting off everything or putting tariffs on them. And in a way, we've sanctioned ourselves to where we're hurting our own self getting stuff supplied. Okay? But when I asked people, the interesting was when I talked to the fellow who was a bench rest shooter. And they're shooting 6.5s, all these weird calibers. 6.5s or 6 millimeters now are popular. So they buy these specialized match grade bullets, and they get them from either overseas somewhere or from someone else that makes them. And he was telling me that he can't get just the actual projectiles. The one company said, because demand isn't that high, and this is another thing we'll go over here. He goes, we don't see shipping any this year, and it might not be until 2025 that we ship this product to the U.S. again. And like a lot of the old military calibers, PPU, like when PPU in the spring, like a month ago, they had their yearly shipment, I guess, of reloading components, being brass, bullets, all that other stuff. A lot of stuff that was out of stock towards the end of last year came in, and what I did is I just laid down a ton of money. Okay, I've been trying to do stuff. I mean, I bought thousands of dollars worth of components just for myself. Okay, because I never know when I'm going to see them for sale again, even close to what price that I had to pay for the stuff, you know. So it is difficult, but a lot of it too, you have to watch out. Like a lot of people say, well, if we stop buying the ammo and if we stop buying this and paying the high prices, they'll lower the price. You know, if we stop buying, they'll have to lower the price to sell their product. Well, you're not selling milk or eggs. Okay, and how this works when you got these giant corporations that are conglomerates. Okay, and this is something I found out, and also talking about people with people, is I can't remember if it was IMR or Alliant or somebody made some sort of new rifle powder. I think it was IMR. It was blue and red rifle powder. Now, if you know my buddies that usually have come into chats with me or used to 314 from up there in Canada, that guy is really in to reloading components and what's available and everything else. And he was using, I think, the blue powder. He bought some and was experimenting with it and trying this out. And it's supposedly a new type of powder. These companies are coming out with these new powders, and you know, henceforth the name blue or whatever. And he was using it and experiment with it, and he said he had good results with it and everything, but then all of a sudden they discontinued it, you know, after like 4 years or something. And what it comes down to, I was talking to someone else about these components. Any of these companies, if they don't sell so much of it, okay, in other words, say you have something, you don't sell a lot of it. Okay, he makes a powder or a bullet or a cartridge, and if you don't sell it, they say it's not profitable. It ain't worth their time to set up their machinery to blend this or manufacture it, put it out there. It really don't sell. They have an excess, so they have to like make less the next year or whatever. They just stop making it. Okay, and I think the thing with blue is, you know, all my reloading manuals, some of them go back 40 years. This powder ain't in there. And for years, I've used standard powders that have been around, okay, since the 20s or something, or 40s. And for me to just go out and say, hey, this is, you know, that's why I said that guy, he's into it. He went out and said, let me try this new powder. He did his research, did his experimentation, liked it, said it worked fine. But then he come back and told me during one of the chats they discontinued it because I guess it didn't catch on. So they just stopped making it. Okay? And you're going to find that. So, you know, why did Remington stop making 8mm Lebel? Why did they stop making 6.5 Carcano? If you don't sell it, there's no point in really making it, and they drop it from their product line. So that's something you guys got to watch out. I mean, I hate to tell you that, and I know a lot of people don't have the money to drop when it comes. You see something, and you get like 500 pieces of brass, or you buy an 8-pound keg of powder, which is almost a $500 purchase now. 400 and some odd bucks between the shipping and hazmat. It's like $425, $430 or more, depending on what type of powder, if it's available. Okay, so things are getting rough, and I don't see them getting any better because now they're running short of material, copper, brass. You know, there's another thing they're all complaining. They're starting to run short of copper and brass. Which, you know, generally when that happens, that price goes up, price increases and inflation and the economy is terrible, The only good thing is they have, see, what the companies do is they focus on what they sell, which would be 9mm ammunition, 5.56 ammunition, and all this other stuff. So actually, they're out there having sales on this because they put all their efforts into producing this stuff because that's what you couldn't find for years. Everybody's got a 9mm pistol, everybody's got an AR-15, and everybody was looking for that specific ammo, okay? And now, when people panicked and would just buy, say they bought 500, 1,000, couple thousand rounds, and said, okay, I'm good. Well, they ain't looking to buy no more, because if they didn't expend that 2,000 rounds, they probably got a ton of ammo, So this is what causes the backlash. So now it's lopsided, okay? 9mm is cheaper to buy, some brands, than it is to reload, okay? And same with some cartridges. In some cartridges, you can't find them, okay? I remember like 30-40 Craig for a while. You couldn't find the cartridge cases, brass, nothing. Starline stopped making all the cowboy action stuff. So like the 50-70, a lot of those Western cases, the pistol ones, 3840, 4440, 3220, 38, is 3840, is that cartridge? Or 3855 or something. It's a rifle cartridge. You can't find that. And again, Starline, and I've seen them do this, there's some of them, if they got that red dot there, they're not going to be producing them. It's stopped, there's no back order, and it's indefinite until the company gets back to where they can make the brass and put it in their lineup. Obviously, they're working on other things at the moment and producing it. So that's just the way it goes, guys. But I will make one talking about the powder, because that's another whole story in itself. Again, the embargoes and all this other stuff is screwing us up there. So I don't know how it looks. I'll do a little thing, because this video is getting too long. I'll have another video and talk about it, like a channel update. And what I'm going to be working on and what type of videos I'm going to try to be making up here shortly. Alright guys, hit the like button, subscribe, and stay tuned.